Hey guys, welcome back to the Small Town Critics podcast. I'm one third of the Small Town Critics. My name is Moe.
Mohammed Hashi.
Yes, and we are here for the review of Killers of the Flower Moon. So Hashi, you know we gotta do non-spoilers first, obviously, right? But before we get into that, guys, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share the videos. You know what I'm saying, with your friends. Let people see. Would love to know what people think of the review. So comment down below as well. Socials are in the description, so follow us there as well. You know what I mean? It would be much appreciated. But yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon. So listen, so you've seen it twice.
Yes, I have. 7 hours.
How the hell did you put yourself through that?
Bro, because first of all, I love cinema. I
Fair
love this project that we're doing.
Okay, yeah.
And I love this movie.
It's
And
so long.
It's long.
But not spoilers though, but yeah,
it's
keep
long,
going. Let us
but it's
know.
paced wonderfully.
Mm.
I think everything about this film was done with care.
Yeah.
And details were looked after. For me, I'm someone who read the book a couple of years ago in anticipation of the movie. And I felt that they did real justice to it. Eric Roth, a famous screenwriter, one of the best out there, and Martin Scorsese, co-wrote as well, did a fantastic job of translating what made the book so great. Because the book was a non-fiction book, where certain characters...
It's fiction.
Non-fiction.
Oh, non-fiction, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said known fiction book.
And where a lot of characters had a lot more prominence in the book, which were given a lesser role in the movie, but it still worked.
Right.
It still worked so well. And I think a little known fact, I'm not too sure if you knew about it, but Leonardo DiCaprio was cast as the FBI agent. Tom
Jesse
White.
Plemons' character.
Jesse Plemons. He was originally cast for that. And basically, what the movie was meant to be, there was a version of the movie that was just going to be a run-of-the-mill procedural whoddunit, where the audience didn't know any of the kind of context of what was happening in the story, and it was just literally a whodunit.
It's interesting with Jesse Plemons. Apparently, he was up for a role. What was it?
In Nope. He was meant to be...
So he was meant to be in Nope, but the conflict of recording this, he couldn't commit to that, right?
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
He's been getting called for some crazy roles, man.
And there's such a great detail to it. So because he was so obviously he didn't want to upset Jordan Peele,
right?
So he got Martin Scorsese to call Jordan Peele.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Which is so hilarious.
It
all worked out because Stephen Yeun was cast as that character in Nope, so it all worked out in the end.
When I look at it now, I feel like I might have liked it more if it was Jesse Plemons.
Interesting. No, I thought Stephen Yeun was great.
He was great. But I mean, listen, I ain't mad at it. If I was a director, I'd be like, you go to Martin Scorsese? Hey, listen, what can I say?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, I think, again, because Martin Scorsese is such a great filmmaker, he was going to make that movie, and then Leo came to him and said, no, we shouldn't make that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we shouldn't make that movie. We should
Why?
make a movie where we kind of explore how bad these crimes are, and we show the audience just the hypocrisy, you know what I mean, the jealousy of the American white man at that time, kind of thing. And I think the story is so much more better for it, honestly, because we would have got a lesser version of the De Niro performance, which we got, which is incredible. By the way, my personal favorite performance from De Niro that I've seen in the last probably 10 years, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
De Niro's the only guy.
You thought I was going to go.
I thought you were going to say something crazy, but De Niro's the only guy right now that can do some... I don't know, some run-of-the-mill comedy movie and have one of the worst movies of the year, and then jump in a movie like this and have one of the best. Just to put it into
context for the audience, Robert De Niro, one of the greatest actors of our time, I think was it last year or the year before, was in a movie with Migos.
With who?
Not Migos. With
the rappers.
Not the rappers. One of them.
Quavo.
Quavo, yes.
What movie was this?
Something Sweet Salvation.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so him and Quavo were on screen. In scenes. Robert De Niro.
I don't even know what to think
Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
So and
I got mad love for Bobby D, though.
Of course.
Bobby D.
He's one of the greatest to ever do it, man. And what he does in this movie, Mo, I haven't seen him do since Cape Fear.
Oh, wow. Fair enough.
Bro, he played like someone who's meant to be a gentle soul. Yeah, and then throughout the movie, without going into it, you find out just how heinous
he's so evil
a human being he is.
Oh my goodness!
and it's just outstanding. And I just want to also shout out
Lily Gladstone.
Lily Gladstone
Listen,
as Molly Eckhart.
there's been talks of her, like people trying to campaign for her to get an Oscar. I ain't mad at it.
Bro, what she does with her eyes, because actors, great actors, they can emote so much without saying anything. And
That's what I say about Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah.
And what she does with her eyes in this,
Incredible.
it's so incredible. There's some major scenes which we're going to where she doesn't say a word. And you're just heartbroken because you can see like decisions to be made on her face, things that she's communicating to other characters.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
And the way she made her, I guess, without going into her ailment, feel so real, and the way it was depicted on screen, I thought that was incredible as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, I think this movie is incredible. Great movie. It is very long, obviously. No, but not in a bad way. It's just the fact that it's like you have to sit in a seat for 3.5 hours and not move. It's difficult sometimes. You know what I mean? Like
physically, for me, that's not an issue. I completely understand. My brothers are saying
I get fidgety. Is what it is.
Yeah.
I get fidgety and I need to move. I need to stretch my legs sometimes. That's what it is. So it's not like I'm saying, I would have loved for it to have an intermission or anything like that. I feel like if
I can't believe that's happening, by the way.
It is happening in certain movies, and apparently, I think it's Scorsese or the studio, one of them are saying like that's not part of the contract of the deal that we said like you stop these intermissions. Yeah. And I do think movies should be seen in one. You know, it's better to see it in one go rather than pausing and things like that. I don't know now in this streaming world that we're in, that's the ways movies are consumed. Obviously,
and unfortunately,
and I know a lot of people watched Irishman that way.
Yeah.
They watched it in parts.
My brother watched it in hour increments, like it was a TV show.
So yeah, exactly. But I thought it was very long, but I thought it was paced very well.
Oh, 100%.
I thought the acting was incredible everywhere. I mean, I thought Leo, I don't want to say, I don't know, it's weird.
I know you're going to say, Leo's the weaker of the three.
It's the weaker of the three only because it's not that he acted it badly or anything like that. It was brilliant. But I do think a few other people could, like, I don't think that was a strictly Leo role. Do you know what I'm trying to say? 100%. I feel like, and not anybody, but a lot of people could have been in those shoes and acted that role just as well.
Yep.
And he had that face that whole time throughout the movie. Yeah, that one thing. Yeah, I think he was channeling his inner Robert De Niro or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But no, it was really good. But I think it's important to also note out people from is it Osage?
Yes, the Osage
from
tribe.
The Osage tribe, even like now, that have reviewed this movie and their thoughts on the movie, and they're not too happy, I would say. They're okay with it, but it's also they have their major gripes, which I fully understand, because you're depicting, you know, their ancestors and their tribe and whatnot. So I have seen things of critiques, for example, saying like they wish this movie was more seen in the view of someone from the Osage tribe like Lily Gladstone, rather than through the eyes of the white man who was Leo's character.
Yep.
They would have preferred that. Obviously, it would have been better for them that way. And I understand it, because there's not enough stories with these people in them in cinema now, especially. And it would have probably helped having someone, I don't know, an indigenous person behind this camera for that. I know Martin Scorsese did do his due diligence though, and he did research and he did ask a lot of these people on their views, and he got people to help like Lily Gladstone speak the language properly. Robert De Niro
trained for 6 months to learn the language, bro.
Really?
Just outstanding stuff.
Yeah.
And for me,
but I do get their gripes. I do want to say that, and I think it's so like warranted. I understand it.
I totally agree. Yeah. I think you've put that really well, Mo. And I think for me, Lily Gladstone, I think kind of put it well. Like, she understands those concerns and those gripes, but at the same time, she wants masters to see these stories and want to tell them as well. You know what I'm saying? So there's a benefit to that. Having one of the greatest living filmmakers alive, Martin Scorsese, like make a film about your people and their plight. Yeah. That's incredible. Come on, that's incredible.
Is Scorsese top 5?
Without a doubt, bro. For me,
he's top 3.
Yeah, you know,
personal.
You know me. I have a very, very soft spot for Tarantino, but even I say that Martin Scorsese's
Tarantino's a bit. I personally, I put guys like Nolan ahead of Tarantino. Personally.
No, I was literally
There was a
about
movie
to
that
jump.
came out this year called Oppenheimer that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen. I don't want to have to fight a friend, so I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna just park that one.
Nolan is incredible, man.
We're gonna park that for the top, you know what I mean, for the
We'll do a
top
director's
five.
bracket one day.
Yeah, we'll do a director.
Yeah.
But we're gonna park that right there because I like you as a human being. So I'm gonna leave that there. So no,
Is it a crazy take to you?
that is.
Stop it. Come on.
I can't even articulate how crazy that is. But listen,
Nolan has something.
let's not go into that now.
Right,
you know what I
cool.
mean?
We don't want to
But,
fight.
yeah,
We're
we don't wanna
brothers.
fight.
We're brothers. Yeah.
I think some of the stuff that was done in this movie thematically was incredible.
How do you make the pacing so good with a 3.5 hour movie?
Again, it's Scorsese, and you have that soundtrack as well. That soundtrack, which was a bit poppy at the start, by the way, which I was a bit taken aback by in my first viewing at the London Film Festival when I first saw it. But then you hear these kind of progressive like drums, boom, 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 and again, all that stuff just continues to move the story forward.
You know what? Should we get into it?
Let's get into it, bro.
All right, guys. Pressing the spoiler button.
Pressing it now.
It's spoilers now.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Get the image of Mark with the
something. Hopefully, the spoilers on the screen, whatever.
Yep.
But now it's the spoilers. So if you haven't seen this movie and you want to know our review in this way, please go watch it and come back. But we're done with the non-spoiler review. So Hashi, getting into spoilers. This movie, I feel like there was no shot that was. I think every shot meant something.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? There was no like wasted space in the movie or anything, no dead space in the movie or anything like that. I feel like everything was meat and potatoes in a way. But I guess what I want to ask first of all, do you think that Leo's character loved Lee Gladstone's character? For real?
So this is the part, because I remember...
I'm sorry to say, but I think that's where his acting becomes so well. Like, for me, have to question that. I think it shows that Leo acted it very well.
Yes, 100%.
But what do you think?
For me, when I first read the story,
Yeah.
and I read that white men were marrying the Osage women and systematically killing their own children as well, by the way, just to get head rights, to get the money from
Just
the
to
oil.
get the money, It's all about the money.
It's all about the money. And to have that kind of back and forth with Leo, like, because I honestly do believe that he loved her. But when a human being constantly shows you who they are, don't look away. So with Leo, you constantly saw his absolute like gumption to get as much money as possible. Like, he would always talk about it. He would always, I love money. You know what I mean? All that every single time he would get an opportunity.
Yeah.
When him and his brother Byron and Blackie Johnson, by the way, which is he was a fantastic character. When towards the start of the film, when they go out at night to rob Osage of their jewelry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And again, the jealousy and the hypocrisy comes into it, where they say, you haven't worked a day in your life. You know what I mean? You don't deserve this. You know what I mean? Then what's thievery then? You know what I'm saying? Again, it's that hypocrisy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right at the core and right front and center. And again, you see that he loves his money, but at the same time, like, he really likes her, because you saw the way the start of the romance with him and, like, you know what I mean? Like,
in the beginning, it was nice. It was sweet.
Yeah, like, I want to see who's in this horse race with me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just so conflicted with him. Like, I'm just like, if you love so, why would you do this, man? It was so heinous.
And then, honestly, like, you can really, when he goes to King Hale, William King Hale.
Is that De Niro's character?
That's De Niro's character.
Right.
And he says to him, you know what, I actually love this woman. Like, he like was saying, like, obviously, like, you wanted me to be with her, but, like, I honestly love this woman.
Yeah.
I want to make her, she's a woman. I want to make her my wife, kind of thing. And then that wonderful scene, like, after a conversation with the wedding, by the way, which is so amazing. It was so nice, stuff like that. But then you see the demon, William K. Hale, Robert De Niro, as he's obviously talking in the language, stuff like that. And one thing, just a quick aside, I'm not sure if it happened every time, but every single time a white man spoke the Osage language, it wasn't really subtitled. Did you know that?
I didn't even notice that.
So after the second time watching it, I think every time they lie in the language, it's not on screen.
Interesting.
That's what I think.
Because
there was sometimes when, at the very start, when Ernest was speaking the language, especially to Anna, what do you call it, Molly's sister, you could see the subtitles. Because he wasn't lying at that time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I do hear you.
So that's something I saw. But again, I think at the wedding, and you see him going up to Minnie,
Right.
Molly's sister,
Yeah.
and you just see him everyone's just partying, stuff like that, and you just see him take the hat off and just slowly prowl.
Bro, he's a puppet, man.
You know what I mean?
He orchestrates everything.
Oh yeah, like
Evil,
he
evil.
is the wolf. You see the wolf that thing was reading about in the book.
Yeah.
He is the hungry wolf.
And it's just sad because the Osage they have this rich history, and they were also wealthy because of the oil that they had, and just I think they had like the white men like kind of not entrusting them with the money, but like kind of, I don't know how it was really, but
Yeah, this is something that really upset me when reading the book. So to be able to use their money in America, they had to have a representative.
Right, right. That's what it is.
And
okay,
someone who's basically like not it was kind of like a conservatorship.
Conservatorship.
Yeah.
Conservator. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's that basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really, really stifling for the Osage because they wanted to do what they wanted with their money because it was their money. And a lot of the Osage tribe who initially came to Oklahoma from Missouri, they decided to not only buy the land, but they did a smart thing where they bought all the land underneath as well. So everything underneath they were also owned. So hence the reason why they could take the oil out and it belonged to them. And anyone that had to come with it, then have to pay not only for the oil, but for the land that they're using. Yeah. Which is very, very smart. Hence the reason why William K. Hill kept on saying that these are the smartest people ever. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. That's why what he was doing took such a long time to do, innit? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And why he had to do it in secret. Because obviously the Osage said, if we could see our enemy like we used to, we'd kill them ourselves.
Yeah.
But we can't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the whole cloak and dagger kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then obviously going back to the wedding and you see him go to Minnie and goes, do you need anything?
Yeah.
Do you need any medication? Yeah. You deserve the best. If you need anything, you come to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's the one killing her. Bro. You know what I mean?
What an evil character, man. Oh my God. Like, I left that movie theater so angry.
Of course.
And just...
And the movie was a success because of that. Because it made people think about the things that some human beings are willing to do in this life. You know what I'm saying? And the lengths that they'll go to. And then you have that character, Grandma, who's a perfect embodiment of what the evil is. And
which character is this?
So this is a character that goes to the lawyer and says, I just married a woman. You know what I'm saying? I had kids. What if I adopt these kids and they die? Yeah. What happens then?
I think that had the biggest laugh.
That had the biggest laugh.
Because the guy replied to it. So what did he say to him? The guy who replied to him?
Well, you're telling me that you want to kill you know what I mean, your children for their head rights here.
Oh,
and he goes,
man.
Not if you told me that I won't get the money if I did it. He didn't even say no or anything like that. He said, if you tell me that won't happen if I don't do it, then I won't do it. Crazy, bro.
Listen, you can't tell me there's not people like that in this world now.
It upsets me.
I won't believe it. There's 100% people in this world.
Yeah, unfortunately there are.
Like,
but again, that's the beautiful thing about art because it puts a light on stuff like this.
Yeah.
So that people know that there are human beings in this life that are capable of that. But again, I think going back to the story, I think when De Niro kind of lays it out, so when William K. Hill, when King lays it out to Ernest, that, you know, for Molly to get this, you know what I'm saying, like, Minnie has to die.
Someone else, yeah.
Anna has to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
That scream that, is it Molly?
Rita.
No.
When Rita dies.
Yeah, but Molly's the one that's Lily
Gladstone,
Gladstone, right?
Lily Gladstone, yeah.
The scream she let out when
it's
she
a primal roar.
Whoa. Like I felt that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And even when they picked up her sister's head and you could see like this movie was graphic at some point.
No, it was because like obviously when Byron tells,
and I want to know, like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is it good to show how graphic it is?
It is.
Or is it a bad thing to show like them in that way? Do you know what I mean?
No, you have to see the reality of that situation. You have to, because that's how it creates an impact, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for me, when De Niro lays out all the people that have to die for Ernest to get Ernest, and basically in extension, King Hale to get it as well, then you know what's going to come. Yeah. And again, I think once Kemi kind of, I think Kemi's not here right now, unfortunately, but I think his thing was that you could see everything coming, and I think he'll talk about that more in his review. But I think when Anna died, that really, really like scared me.
Anna was which one?
Anna was the older sister, the crazy one.
The one that was drinking and
going wild.
And she would just whip out the gun whenever she wanted. Yeah.
Which is again,
I loved her character.
By the way, such De Niro. Like,
I loved her.
Show at the club. You know what I mean? Like, get out. You know what I mean? Shoot
She
them.
wasn't taking shit from nobody.
Yes, you know what I mean?
I loved that.
And I just felt so bad that she liked Byron of all people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and stuff like that. And obviously before that we see Molly's relationship with her mum, Lizzie. And that obviously Anna's her favourite, not her kind of thing. And then you see that first thematic part of this movie, which again, only Scorsese can do stuff like this, when you see the owl. And the owl is what signifies death. Yes. Kind of thing.
Yes.
And to get that set up, and later in the movie to get the payoff.
Hey, he brought it back.
You know what I mean?
Set up, fail.
But again, what else could I possibly expect from a master like Scorsese?
But Molly saw the owl, but she never died.
Yes. So I think for me,
I mean, eventually, obviously, she did, but she never died in that moment.
But I think that was basically her. That was a signal to the audience that something drastic has to happen, otherwise Molly's gonna die. Kind of basically putting a ticking clock on Molly. Basically, that's what that was for me.
The FBI found her, right, and then took her to the hospital, but she didn't trust anyone to kind of give her medication or anything like that.
And again, the whole thing with Anna and the absolute crooked brother doctors who were on King Hill's payroll, helping.
Do you know that scene when the FBI came to question them? I was so frustrated.
Oh yeah,
just lying through their teeth.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. And it's just so heartbreaking.
Yeah,
so heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really
and
is.
then you have obviously Henry, Henry, the Osage, who had a melancholy, which is basically he was suicidal. And the fact that
yes.
those doctors never wanted to help him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
And then De Niro wanted him to live out the year so he can get
the insurance
money. So he's like, just make sure this guy doesn't commit suicide.
Yeah.
Delete himself basically. So I mean, this like the thinking that behind these men and the way they orchestrated things, like it's some of the most evil shit that's ever for me put on screen. Yeah. Honestly. And
then you really had characters like William Smith, who was married to Minnie at the start, and then he married Rita.
Yes.
1 month later.
Yeah.
After Minnie died.
Yeah.
It just boggles the mind. Yeah. Boggles the mind.
Were you surprised that the FBI actually wanted to solve these crimes?
Again, this goes into the book and what was great about the book, because you saw how competent and how great a detective Tom White was.
Do you find that interesting though? I wouldn't imagine they would want to personally, because you look at things like, for example, like I don't know, talks of like the FBI having a hand in killing. Oh my god, I hate when my mind goes blank like this. Daniel Kaluuya's character from. Oh my goodness, I can't. Why is this having such a fate? He's so prominent. I think one of the characters is Neil. What was the movie called? The Daniel Kaluuya one with Lakeith Stanfield. You know what I'm talking about, right? Black Messiah. The Black Messiah. So what was the character's name from that? That was I can't remember. Oh my god! Remember. Someone take my black card, man. Oh no! This is so horrible. I can't believe this. Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton. Yes. Things like that, and like Martin Luther King. Yeah, so many other instances. Yes, so Malcolm X. Yeah. For them to like come here and Jesse Plemons' character to want to solve this, and also for them to have an indigenous member in their squad. Yes. Again, well, this was interesting to me. This is what Tom White was known for basically being the first person to do like undercover investigation, stuff like that, like embed his whole team in a community to be able to gain an understanding of what was happening and stuff like that. Yes. Like obviously you got the insurance man who was actually an FBI agent. You got obviously the indigenous, the Osage. He wasn't Osage. He was a fellow indigenous person that was also there and stuff like that, talking about his family and like, oh, I've come from here and stuff like that. This is my family and all that kind of stuff. And then you have the cattle guy who's also an FBI agent. Yeah, the guy that was going to be prospectively buying the cattle of King Hale and stuff like that. So, and then you have Tom White who I think more or less knew what was happening, but just needed everything to be confirmed and stuff like that. And again, he needs his evidence, isn't it? Yes, and again, I think going into the book, he was someone who butt heads with J. Edgar Hoover, who funnily enough was played by Leonardo DiCaprio in the biopic J. Edgar. Oh yeah, which is kind of funny. Yeah. And again, because he had such an amazing kind of success rate solving crimes,
getting convictions kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and he butted heads with J. Edgar Hoover, who basically thought that he was taking all his shine
Yep.
and stuff like that. And then you have J. Edgar Hoover, like towards the end of the film, like the coda, basically, you saw that instead of getting the title cards at the end of films, you got like a little presentation, which would happen at the time where.
Are you talking about the little podcast they did?
Yeah, basically
Yeah,
a little
they did a
podcast,
podcast.
yeah, with all the sound effects, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that was cool though.
And I
And
don't know.
Scorsese was in that.
Yeah, of course. Did you clock that it was sponsored by the FBI?
No.
So again, to kind of give shine and promotion to the FBI and stuff like that. That's who J. Edgar Hoover was. As a bit of context for who he was, and the reason why the FBI was started was to kind of solve crimes in regards to kind of like the selling of moonshine.
So really,
and
everything's in
guns
their
running.
best interest.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, oh my god, these people need justice. It's
But
more
also,
just like
this is to save face because the 30th president,
right.
Calvin Coolidge
Yeah.
at the time, which by the way, so strange. President just walks out of the White House and greets people in the street, which is
Yeah.
that was kind of wild. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But yeah, that actually did happen. By the way, Calvin
Yeah.
Coolidge did actually go to Molly, and she heard
That
what
when she
had
said
to
we
say,
need help.
and then he sent Tom White.
Right.
That actually did happen.
We didn't see his face, did we? We saw the back of his head, isn't it?
Yeah, Calvin Coolidge. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was
Crazy.
interesting.
Again, shows you this is not something that happened like a billion years ago. Calvin Coolidge was the 30th president of the United States.
Yeah.
We're currently on our 46th right now.
Yeah, this stuff
So-
this stuff we're really not that far removed from this
Not
stuff.
at all.
Like they even mentioned like Black Wall Street,
Yes.
Oklahoma stuff, and
Again, something that
the
broke my heart.
similarities is
Yeah.
just it's really heartbreaking, like you said, when you think about it.
Yep. What did you think in regards to the whole crime element in terms of them killing the people, and how real it looked, and how much obviously they put on screen, and with regards to obviously killing Henry, killing Rita
Yeah,
and
it's
her
just-
husband William.
It's
stuff
just
like
so
that.
sad because you want there to be a moment where they just have their one up on these white men, but it just never happens.
Yeah.
And like, credit to Scorsese, the way he like shoots people being shot and dying and things like that, it just seems way more like, obviously I've never seen in front of my eyes someone being shot or anything.
I hope you never
like
do.
that. But I hope I never do, yeah. But it just seems way more realer than any other film that I see. Like, I don't know, there was one scene, for example, where someone was narrating something and a lady comes out with her baby and someone just puts their hand outside the window
And shoots her, yeah.
and then shoots her. And then just something about that it just felt so visceral. I don't know what it is.
And the
like,
scariest part of that is the guy who just killed the woman takes her child.
yeah, right. So, my God, yeah, man, this is some really bad stuff. How did you feel coming out of this movie? Because you watched it twice, so you felt it just like twice in 1 week.
I think the first time, like, I've just felt so hollow.
Yeah.
Because, like, just how... Obviously, I read the book,
Sure.
but at the same time, all of those feelings from the book just came flooding back.
Was it more intense reading the book or watching the movie for you reckon?
For me, the movie, again, that's just credit to Scorsese.
Yeah.
Because he visualized a lot of the horrors in the book so well, where it kind of just hits you again, kind of thing. And you kind of forget you've read the book, if that makes sense as well. Because of how good of like a story this is and how well he's laid this out. And for me, like, when just seeing how culpable Ernest is in regards to kind of setting up AC Riley to kind of, you know what I mean, get Ramsey to then talk to AC Riley.
Sure.
To, you know what I mean, to make sure that he puts the dynamite in the house, stuff like that, kill them.
Did you feel sorry for him when he got caught? Is he the one with the messed up eye?
Yes.
That was like, I don't want to do this and all that.
Yeah,
stuff,
and then when he hears it's Osage, like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a different matter.
Yeah,
You
when
know what I
when he
Yeah,
got
it's
caught, I was like, listen, get him out.
Yeah, get him. Yeah, Yeah.
Get all of these guys out of here. But
and especially Blackie Johnson as well. Same thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, again, like, he was willing to do heinous stuff, but again, it just shows you the humanity of Scorsese and his storytelling, that you can get such funny moments out of Ramsey and Blackie and stuff like that. When obviously when
it's really
Ernest
dark
gets,
humor, isn't it?
Very dark humor.
Yeah.
Like when Ernest gets caught, and he's like, I'm standing. He goes, can I sit? He goes, yeah, we like you standing.
We like you
basically.
standing.
You know what I mean?
That was
Stuff
great.
like that. That was so funny. And then you see by the way, the biggest laugh at the festival was when Ernest goes to Tom White, goes, can I talk to him privately? Can I talk to Blackie privately?
Yeah.
It was so funny.
I was thinking, why would they let him? But
It was so
I
funny.
guess,
And then you see, by the way, great acting from Leo in that scene. When you see him basically saying, you're the dummy, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to King Hell.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm going to tell him what you did and stuff. All that kind of. But obviously, we know he's the dumbest guy ever as well.
Yeah.
It was just so funny. And then obviously because they did the thing where obviously Ernest is like, I have no idea. You know, I don't know who Blackie is. And then you see the open door, the reveal, cut to. And then it was so funny when it happened to Ramsey.
Yeah.
And then he opens the door and Ernest goes, you're going to put this all on me? And then the biggest laugh was when he goes,
yeah.
get your pencils out.
Yeah. No, that was really
It was so funny.
I find it interesting. Like there was characters like I can't remember their name, but you said when he was talking to the lawyer and saying about basically alluding to killing his kids. He married this woman.
Kramer, yeah.
But then you got Leonardo DiCaprio, his breaking point was when his child died.
Yes, that was his breaking point.
So I did find that interesting. That I mean, there's people out there going to be like, oh, they're not all the same. I think they're all the same. Personally.
No, they're all the same. They're all the same. And again, that was the objective of the movie, to show you that Ernest was willing to kill everyone in Molly's family, and also Molly, because he was the one who was injecting the insulin.
Why was that his breaking point? That's the thing. And did he know he was injecting her with? Was he injecting her with poison?
Yes.
Did he know he was?
Of course he does.
You think he did?
Of course he did. Of course that was. You know what I mean? That was how was it just.
So you don't think it was maybe a situation of like the doctors were sorting that out, but Leo didn't know that he thought he was maybe actually really giving her insulin?
No.
You didn't think so at all, yeah.
And
am I giving him too much grace?
No, you're giving him too much rope. Honestly, like for me, the fact that he's the one injecting her.
Yeah.
If it was the doctors, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But he's the one doing it.
Yeah.
So at any point he can stop and just say, "Oh, I'm giving it to her," and lie and say, "I'm giving it to her. She's completely fine. Like I'm doing it," kind of thing. Don't worry about it, and not give it to her. But no.
When she asked him, and he said, "Incident." She was just done.
That for me was the most emotional part of the movie.
Same.
Because for me, obviously, when she gets caught and then the whole court stuff, which we'll go into and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's a time when he gets to meet Molly after she gets better.
Yeah.
And she basically says to him, like, I had a dream about you lying, like, about you putting all your lies in a box.
Yeah.
And us, you know what I mean, just letting it float away, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And us being together again. Yeah. Because the thing with love is a dangerous thing, my man, because it will make you do crazy things. Molly was getting killed by this man that she loved, and she was still willing to take him back.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy if you think about it. To a logical man, that's crazy. But as someone who's experienced love, you know what I mean, stuff like that, you know what you would do, you know what I mean, because of that. So I completely understood that.
You would let a lot of things slide for love. Yeah. You would honestly. You will forego many red flags. Yeah.
If you're absolutely smitten on someone. You know what I'm saying? But again,
really quickly, what did you think of Brendan Fraser and Kelsey Grammer?
Sorry, you mean John Lithgow?
Kelsey Grammer, John Lithgow.
I used to
always confuse them.
Really?
I really did. I don't know why, but I used to always confuse them.
So quickly before I go into that, that scene you're talking about with Molly, when she directly asked him, "Were you injecting me with poison?"
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And after all the truths that he's told her, because he's told her mad truths, he decides to lie about that.
Yeah.
And what I thought Scorsese was so fantastic in doing this, he cut to Jesse Plemons' Tom White, who was like, buddy, you just messed up, basically.
Yeah.
You know
and
his
body language, Leo's body language, just like he was just defeated.
Oh yeah, because he kind of looked at Tom White like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
But that was Molly deciding.
But that's also
I can't be with this man.
And that's also the entitlement of these men. It's just like, it's almost like it's not that bad. Do you know what I'm saying? What I did, kind of thing.
It's scary. Like it's scary. The white men, like those white men, like they felt so entitled to their money and they had such jealousy and such hypocrisy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They still thought they were better than them.
Yeah. And me, like, I'm a person who thinks like, I love love. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm that kind of guy.
Of course.
And I think love is love at the end
100%.
of the day. But when you see certain people that like see these kinds of stories, or they have ancestors that have gone through these kinds of things, and then they only want to stay with their kind of people and only want to marry their kind of people, it's like, I understand it. I get why you would feel like that when it comes to like things like this. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Mutual understanding and stuff like that.
Yeah, it makes sense because you understand each other more. You've gone through the same types of things. You have the same similar traumas, and you know what I'm saying. Like culture is this, all of that stuff. I get it. Do you know what I'm trying to
That's
say?
a really
Even
good
though I
point.
feel like if anyone wants to marry anyone, fair enough, do your thing, as long as you're not like degrading
That's a
the
really
other
good
person's
point, bro.
culture or anything like that. But I fully understand why people would feel like that.
That's a really good point. And again, it's something that we know firsthand in our communities.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Stuff
exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
But I think just to kind of end,
Yeah, please. We gotta wrap this up.
again, incredible film.
Yes.
Just want to kind of shout out a couple of things. I think
Go
Robert
ahead.
De Niro, I think when he got arrested and he's going up the court steps, he goes, "I'm as innocent as a newborn baby." And he goes, "Even more." He said that. He really said that. That had me and one of my friends dying. And then obviously,
I know you wanted to go through the screen.
and then he did a thing when he offered the $1,000 reward extra on top.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I want this to be solved." And then he has that bit. Goes,
Yeah.
You come to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're the guy. You're the freaking.
You're the guy. And then obviously he goes again. Another one of our boys goes. He has that line. He goes, "I'm easy to find." You know what I mean?
You're so evil.
Which
man.
reminded. Did you see that viral clip of that sheriff? He goes, "I'm easy to find."
No.
He's like, "Oh, heavy."
One last message to the gremlins. You don't like the things I've told you tonight? I got one thing to say. I'm easy to find.
I want to find that and try and add them to the clip, try and put that in a clip or something like that. But again, had to shout out those two things. I thought Robert De Niro. I hope he gets the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
I hope Lily Gladstone.
I hope Lily Gladstone as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Give Leo, why not? You know what I mean? Why not chuck him in there as well? But for me, Martin,
I mean, if I had to go for main actor for this year, I'd
he's low down. the list.
I'd
I know
put
you
Killian over.
Yeah.
Leo for me
Bro,
personally.
yeah, without a shadow.
Killian killed his role.
Without a shadow
in
of that. And I
Oppenheimer.
think, yeah, again, De Niro, he's done something for me where I felt upset by him. I felt angry whenever I saw him on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was just a shockingly terrible human being, and he played him to a T.
It's a testament to the writing and just how well he acted that, isn't it?
Yeah.
De Niro still got it, man.
De Niro still got it. Marty
still
still
got
got
it,
it.
man.
Marty, to be working at that level, at that age, goodness me.
I love that guy, man. His daughter's been releasing TikToks of them two together, and it's actually so wholesome.
I'm trying to log those on Letterboxd. Is it possible, Mo?
This is cinema.
This is cinema.
This is cinema.
Yeah, this is cinema.
Nah, it's so wholesome, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love
Before we end, it's got to be done. Killers of the Flower Moon.
it.
Oppenheimer.
Mm.
Oppenheimer was our number one, leading the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
What are we thinking now, Mo?
This is so tough, man.
I know.
You know, you know who my favorite actor is?
Cillian Murphy.
The boy Killian.
Yeah.
But I just think the way, I don't know. I would I don't know how to get into this, but I will say for me it's still Oppenheimer. Personally, I think it's still Oppenheimer number one, and it's definitely, I don't know where it is. I still need to sit with this a bit more. Probably watch it one more time before we do our end of the year rankings. But it's definitely in my top 5, top 3. So yeah. But what about you?
I can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
That's really good rationale.
Yeah.
For me, it's number one.
Number one.
Oh.
Yeah. Easy, or was it like? Is it a conversation in your head?
I walked out of the screening at the festival,
Yeah.
the London Film Festival. I was like, and I told the guy I was with that I met them on that day. Number one.
Fair enough.
Number
man.
one. Oppenheimer is of course, not close number 2.
Yeah.
But for Marty to do that at this level, to pace a movie that long and make it feel propulsive.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm not gonna lie to you, Mo, like, and the audience may think I'm absolutely wild for saying this. I didn't feel the time. I didn't feel it.
No, I hear you.
I
Yeah.
didn't feel it.
I didn't feel the time until probably the last hour, I would say.
I thought, by the way, Rodrigo Prieto, we need to talk about him as one of the top cinematographers, by the way. He did this and Barbie, by the way, this year.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Versatile, man.
Thelma Schoolmaker, the editor.
Yeah.
He's a long-time editor. Incredible stuff that she does. And just Robbie Robertson, the late Robbie Robertson, who did the score for this movie. Incredible. Just everything outstanding about this movie, man.
Let's get into our scores, man. STC score, Hashi. What do you think? What did you put this out of 10? What did you give Oppenheimer? Do you remember?
9.5.
Oh, you know what you got to do.
No. For me.
I mean, they could be both 9.5 and still be 1.
Thank
and 2.
you, Mo.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
exactly what I'm
That's
gonna
fair,
do.
That's fair.
That's the square I had in my mind.
9.5, yeah.
9.5, yeah.
Yeah, I would go. Yeah, I'll give it a 9.
If it's a letterbox, it's a 5-star movie though.
Sure. With that scoring system, yeah, I would give this a 9 though. This is a solid movie. I do prefer Oppenheimer. I think, like I said, I still need to sit with this a bit more, and I do think like from the indigenous people that have actually reviewed this movie, I get their gripe, and I do think it might have been better from the perspective of a person from that tribe. It probably would have hit more like that. I think it might have hit more. The emotions and like how, like the way they saw things, I think it would have hit more. But you know, you never know. They'd have to redo this movie for us to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it is what it is. But yeah, 9 out of 10, fantastic. Martin Scorsese, brilliant, man.
Let's hear. Go on, segue us into.
But yes, Kem obviously isn't here, as you guys can see, but Kem has some things to say about this movie, so I'll let him go.
Thank you, Mo, for that wonderful introduction. Yeah, again, sorry guys, I couldn't be at the studio today. Had some car troubles. Yeah, and we'll be there with you guys next time. Anyway, Killers of the Flower Moon. Incredible. That movie left me feeling, as Hash said, hollow. There's so much I would love to have talked about, but obviously doing it in this method is doesn't really do it justice, so I'm just going to give it a quick snippet. Yeah, I felt like a surrogate in regards to the pain and the emotions for the Osage people. I felt every bit of trauma, hate watching that movie, and that's testament to Scorsese, because it's hard to come out a movie, especially when that movie does not pertain to your culture, your people in a sense, and to feel, yes, you could feel empathy, you could understand, you could feel hurt, but feel like almost it was done to you and you wanted retribution from those people. Yeah, with that being said, De Niro done it for me. He was diabolical, heinous, evil, the embodiment of somebody who is abhorrent. He is deplorable. I can't think of any more. He is disgusting in his portrayal of that character. Yet his performance was mind blowing. It was spectacular. Again, I would have loved to have seen, as Mo said, I would have loved to have seen more. I would have loved to have seen it from the eyes of the Osage people. But with what Scorsese's done with this one, I'm okay with it. Again, I want to quickly wrap this up. In regards to my STC scores, it has to be a 9.5. And I think, personally, answering Hash's question, it just hits Oppenheimer, and that's hard for me to say because wow, what Oppenheimer did for me this year is incredible. But this is near perfect. This is a near perfect movie. And another thing, I did not realize the time, but yeah, thank you guys.
And guys, that was our review for Killers of the Flower Moon. I hope you guys enjoyed. Listen, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, please. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.